Hey, my name is Dmitry. I work with Camelot Real Estate Solutions Group from Jacksonville, Florida, and I am right now at San Diego, California at SimsStock Bootcamp with Greg Clement. And I want to share with you of opening of day one.
Welcome to SimsStock. Excited? We sure are. We put a ton of effort putting this together for you guys, and we're extremely excited. We have a ton of information to cover over the next 3 days, and a ton actually to cover today. So we have a really tight schedule. So I'm going to introduce Greg in just a minute, but before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Don Fowler, Greg's partner, and Greg and I have known each other for a few years. We actually met in October of '06. I don't know if you remember that, Greg, if that was the right time. But you just opened RealFlow. You had like 10 users. And I had 1-800-SELL now, and we had like 15 users. And the only way to grow the business at that time was through local RIAs, or through other gurus, stage speaking. Greg didn't want to be a stage speaker. I didn't want to be a stage speaker. So we parted ways, and we did a little bit of work together. But Greg went off and had the brilliant idea of leveraging the internet. And we saw his growth from an outsider looking in. I watched his growth. Went from 10 users to 300 to 3,000 to 7,000, now up to 10,000. So I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? So I went up to talk to Greg, and from a 1-800-SELL now perspective, and shortly came to realize that I needed to be a part of Greg's team. So I'm from South Florida, and so I moved my family from South Florida to Cleveland, Ohio. Sucks. But RealFlow and Greg Clement and everything that we've got going and where our future is headed is extremely exciting. So with further ado, Greg Clement.
So this mic sound good, good. So Don was on prep a little bit. You guys notice that me right up here? He was excited, or you're out of shape? I know you're not quite as hard, but yeah, like Don said, we got a lot planned for this weekend, these next 3 days for sure. Jeff Walker, I'm going to introduce right now. Jeff, like Don had mentioned, real quick story is when we decided to get into information marketing. We looked at our residential real estate investing business, and we were doing a lot of deals. And we knew we'd go to other events as attendees all over the country and try to, sharpen our saw. And we would talk to other investors, and we got, just network with other short sale investors, and we were doing some commercial investing. But we saw how different our business was compared to just about everybody else's. We were actually making money in our business. Making a lot of money in our business, and the majority of the people that we talked to weren't making any money in their businesses, and they were doing some deals, but they couldn't get momentum. So then when we looked at our business as a model and we refined it to see if we could teach it to other people, we started to do that about 2.5 years ago, right? And so we had an information marketing business, and we had RealFlow, which is a software and sort of business that provides the tools and then the information, right? So, like Don had mentioned, there was basically one way to grow that type of business, and that was to travel all around the country and speak. And I didn't really want to do that. I didn't want to do it for two main reasons. Number one, my family, and three boys, and I didn't want to travel and be away from them, because the speakers, gurus who are making a lot of money marketing their businesses were pitching from stage and stage and stage and stage and stage. I'm sure who's been to an event where it's been a pitch fest, live event? Yeah. So that's pretty much, up until probably two and a half years ago, that's pretty much how you had to be successful. That didn't appeal to me. For that reason, to travel with my family, And the other reason is because of my speech impediment, right? So I did not, I mean, if you take me, you take a guy who's got a speech impediment, some days are good days, some days are bad days. I'm hoping we have 3 good days in a row. But you take me, and you put me on a stage, I mean, you never know what I'm going to get. So my income was going to be, you know, basically relying on my ability to speak and sell stuff from the platform. I didn't like that at all. So the only other way to do it was to become really good at internet marketing and build a list. So I met Jeff. I actually bought Jeff's product launch formula, and we marketed the first ever Shrek real estate event. There's some people, who is at that event? Some people here, there's a few people. Raise your hands. So well, not a Shrek event, but the very first Shrek event, I think it was June of 2007. Who was at that event? Okay, so we did a product launch with that event. Okay, and I'm going to tell you more about exactly what we did to market that business later on this afternoon, because I think it's very relevant. It definitely can impact whatever you're trying to market online. You can follow our model, and I'm going to go deep into what we did to market this afternoon. But the point is I saw this model of launching the product online. I saw this guy, Jeff Walker, who was just killing it. He was like the guru of internet marketers. He was the guy that all the internet marketers pointed to for blowing up their businesses, okay, in a good way. So then, you guys know, I think we told a story a little bit. I approached Jeff at an event probably 2 years ago, Dan Kennedy event, to use his product launch formula to sell a house. We developed a system to sell houses that way, property launch formula, which we're also going to talk about this weekend. But the more I got to know Jeff, the more I realized this guy's just really, really good at well, one thing. Jeff, you might be good at more than one thing, but he's really, really good at marketing online. He just knows everything about it. And so I became a student of his, and there's not been a single individual from a business perspective that's impacted my life more than Jeff Walker. So Jeff, why don't you come up here, man? We're going to spend about 10-15 minutes right now and go over what to expect this weekend, okay? Okay, cool. So I think one of the first things that you guys need to do for sure this weekend, and I'm going to read the survey results to you in a minute, because we asked you guys to fill out a survey, just sort of a pre-event survey, and I thought the results were unbelievable. They were shocking to me. And you're going to find out why in a second, but with that said, I think you need to be ready to shift. You need to be ready to make a shift in your business this weekend. So I think you need to sort of clear your mind of anything that's sort of preventing you from plowing ahead in business and life. You need to sort of get rid of that for the next 3 days. You need to open up the mind to be able to receive some new information, or some new stuff that's going to dramatically impact how much money you make next year and the next 5 years and beyond.